Good morning, September 22nd, 2022, Thursday. Waiting on the GE man in a little bit. I'm going to go over my caffeine withdrawal. It has now been 9 months as of 9/20 and 9/5 for the hair. What I've done is I gave up all forms of caffeine. I was drinking convenience store coffee, and at that time it was $1.82. I imagine it might even be higher now. Enough of diet colas and caffeine at the convenience store to be about $50 a month. I gave up all cocoa, chocolate. I look at products to make sure they don't contain caffeine, although it would be nothing like the 4 or 5 cups a day I use for the last 25. Actually, I drank coffee for about 50 years. I'm coming up on 68, but I think the last 25 or so were excessive. The results of giving it up is lower blood pressure, much lower. It was 156 over 97 at one point. I was having dizziness and vertigo because of it, some AFib, a little bit. Now I can get readings of like 114 over 69. My heart rate is, between the 60s and 70s. I run 3 days a week, and I walk 4 days a week at least. I use my exercise bike every evening during the news for 30 minutes, either do between 6 and 7 miles. Last night I hit 8, 30 minutes. So anyway, all caffeine, beware of products. But I think the rock gut coffee from the convenience store was terrible. But I would grab it because I was working shift work at the stadium. I'm not doing that anymore. I do taxes 3 months a year. I've done some side jobs, some maintenance, mowing and painting a house. Okay, so that was the caffeine. It's 9 months. I've lost 15 to 16 pounds so far on my new diet. It's been 11 weeks. And then the hair, I stopped cutting on December 5th of 21, so it also has been 9 months. No hair dye and no hair lightener. Just let it grow straight. And about January, February, I'll have somebody trim a fingernail size, half a fingernail, straight across the back. I'll probably do that once a year. Hair is supposed to grow 5 or 6 inches a year. It went from a very small pixie to, it's coming up on shoulder length now. I like that. It saves me about 18 a month. The coffee saved 50. Now, 5 months ago, April 20, I gave up all artificial sweeteners, and I would buy 3 or 4 2-liter jugs, 2-liter bottles of, for instance, even after I gave up caffeine, I'd get Diet Orange, something akin to lemon lime, the Diet Tonic Water, which is, odd flavor, but it was good. But I thought it was good when you mow that yard and you get it. But I would copiously drink that. I was drinking about 136 milligrams of artificial sweetener. Now, you don't know what's in those sweeteners because they supplement each other. Sometimes they'll use something called ACE-K, and sometimes they'll use something called sucralose. Aspartame is a very bad one. But I gave up. Some people use silver. Why would I? Now, as a substitute for that, I'll buy stuff like cranberry juice, frozen orange concentrate. I usually get about 3 of those, and then they're $1.50 at Walmart neighborhood grocery. And I will get apple juice. I read the labels. You got to be careful with that too. If you go to some off-brand store, a dollar store, and it says fresh apple from Maine or something, and you say, oh, it's nothing that pretty. And then you turn it over, and sure enough, they've used some kind of artificial sweetener. So I always double check. I do not mind apple juice concentrate. I don't mind cane sugar. It doesn't bother me. I would rather have cane sugar than any kind of artificial sweetener. Considering the amount with those 4 2-liter bottles a week, I've gone to, like I said, I'll make a diluted cranberry juice or grape juice, but always check the labels because some off-brands do use it. Now, with artificial sweetener, it is in your toothpaste, mouthwash. It can be in baked products. You buy a pumpkin pie, oh, this is nice, and then you turn it over, and sure enough, so if you're buying something that has like a bakery product, which I don't buy that anymore anyway. Generally, my fruit is my sweetness, but The results of giving up caffeine: instead of crepey skin, even though I'm a 68-year-old woman, the skin is smoother. The teeth are several shades brighter. I had not dreamed in decades, and I started having dreams again. My sleep is more solid. There's less need to run to the bathroom breaks. My gut doesn't hurt as often. I used to get pains in my gut every now and then. I don't have that. I don't get tension headaches as much as I used to around my shoulders and neck. Caffeine modifies cells in your body. It modifies cells in your kidneys. It modifies cells in your brain that have to do with cortisol and adenosine. It actually tricks the adenosine, which is there's certain things that are normally help you go to sleep. The caffeine has changed the structure and fit themselves sideways in the holes where it doesn't do the natural things. It's messing with your body. Let me tell you this, for several weeks after I gave up caffeine, your body throws off some of the stuff that had been stored up in you, just like if you had nicotine and the body was releasing that nicotine. I just want to be, in my case it did, because we're talking about a long time. The skin is smoother, the teeth is brighter, the eyes are less, I get less red eye. Losing the weight helps you sleep better also, I believe. I'm gradually losing the weight. I'm eating 1,500 or less calories a day, sometimes between 12 and 1,500. But again, on the, for instance, Tums has sweetener in it. You have to be careful. Now you think, well, no antacid, because you need an antacid, has sweetener, and most of them do. The majority of them have some type of sweetener in there that's artificial. So you could take an Alka-Seltzer as an alternative. I was reading you can take like baking soda or something as an alternative. If you have to, you can take a Tums, because the 10 or 15 milligrams is not like the 136 you're getting daily by drinking 2-quart bottles of Diet Cola, Diet Pepsi. I lived on on instant, the store-bought coffee. Oh, and then let me add this in. I just realized the creamers. When I would have my instant coffee here, I would add a mocha creamer, the Nestle, I think. I don't know what they're called anymore. There's two brands. There's two primary brands. And they would have like peppermint, and they might have mocha, caramel, all these creamers you add in. I'm going to tell you something right now. Those creamers are a very negative to heart health. I mean, they may not have artificial sweetener. Some of them do, but they may not have artificial sweetener. But that stuff that you added to your instant coffee, I would make an instant coffee, and then I would add my mocha. This would be like a coca coffee. I don't do any of that. And I get up in the morning, I have peppermint tea. I have chamomile tea. There's all kinds of ginger and rosehip and orange zest. And make sure if you buy the teas that it says caffeine free. So they're made with various herbs and spices. And if I need a cup of something hot in the morning, I make sure that it says caffeine free. Okay, that's my thing for this morning. Thank you.